Hey, and welcome to the show. This show is brought to you by Patreon members like you.
Thank you for being a Patreon member.
As a Patreon member, you get a video of the podcast that we put out twice a month.
Now, on with the show.
Glasses, the struggle is real. Whew. Fun. Hey John, how you doing? Oh man. Happy Monday! What's up, Mike? What's up from Norway? Norway in the house, Chicago in the house, South Florida in the house. McFarland. That's a cool name. Fro's in the house. Fro, Michigan's in the house. Fro, all the way from Stereo Kings. Check them out. YouTube, Stereo Kings. Wisconsin's in the house. Insufficient bandwidth, always.
Ah, really?
Arkansas in the house. You going to SEMA? We're not that cool, Robin. We're not that cool. We thought about it. We toyed with it. Manchester's in the house. And then at the end, yeah, it just didn't work out. We got way too much stuff on the books right now to deal with that. So, yeah.
Maybe next year.
Nah, definitely next year. Texas, what's up? Yeah, we'll definitely go next year. We got a lot more trips planned next year. Hopefully Paul will learn how to. Arkansas still in the house.
Arkansas is in the house.
That's not true. What's not true? We got a ton of books stuff on the books. We do. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, this week's already gonna be fun. Hey guys, what's up? From just down the road at AutoZone on Golf to Bay. What's going on? What's up from Cali?
Oh, really?
How was your weekend?
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Is that kit behind you? No, this is a Mustang. This is a straight up Mustang.
That's a train.
What's up from SoCal? Now this is a Mustang. This one is getting some three-way flax, a bunch of audio control amplifiers.
Components in the back, flax. Yeah.
Components, no, coaxials in the back.
Coaxials in the back.
Slow it down.
Sorry, my bad.
Upstate New York, Cincinnati. And a DSR1 is going in this. I know what you're thinking. Why would you do DSR1 if you're doing audio control? Because iData makes the AR compatibility for this Mustang, which allows you to T-harness into it. So you can pull out the factory amplifier. So we're going with all the LC amplifiers.
What's up, Jeff? Mario.
So up in the passenger kick panel is this cool guy right here with this plug network. We have all these plugs here, so we can pull this out. We'll remanufacture this so that the DSR1 will mount to it. These will plug into the factory plugs, give us our speaker wire here. And there's a third harness.
Sean Octavio.
There's a third harness here somewhere. I have no idea where. Oh, that's not good.
Alright, let's see.
Oh, it might still be in the car.
Alright, if I'm stuck with the 4-inch components, which one is the best that you recommend? The Audison?
I was a big fan of the Audison Prima 4-inch. I really like those. If you're talking about like a Jeep JL, then Metra makes a new 6.5-inch enclosure for that, which will be shipping here soon. Otherwise, see, it really depends when you say 4-inch component, because it's got me thinking, is it like a BMW? Because if it's a BMW, you got Rockford, you got Focal, you got Audison. They all make, you know, speakers that plug right into that. So it's a tough one for sure. Is the center channel in the 2011 RX 350 actively crossed over? Actively crossed over from the amplifier? Yes, it is. If it's yeah, because if it's on its own channel, it's going to be actively crossed over.
That's right.
What's the dimensions of your workbench with depth? I don't know. Where's the tape measure? Oh, I got one right here. So, because I have a toolbox sitting on mine, it sticks off the wall 5 feet. So my workbench comes off the wall 5 feet, and it is 49 inches because that's a standard sheet of wood was 49 inches. So 5 feet by 49. What do I do with that harness? That's gonna really
Which
screw
one?
with my head. The other harness for this, the one that has all the speaker. Here it is. Aha, found it. It's under my notes for tomorrow. So yeah, so you got the 3 harnesses. This one has all your speakers. So this one has front, rear,
What's up,
rear,
man?
left, right, and then this one has tweeter and mid-range, or tweeter and center. And this, the mid-range and the tweeter are on the same channel, so we'll be going with new tweeter wires and, of course, new mid-range wires. No, the mid-range wires will be using these. What am I thinking about? Okay. It's Monday, people! It's Monday. Who's excited?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so, comparing the 2 JLs, W something.
Okay.
I
can
Oh no, I'm sorry. Who YouTube kicker L7? Which one will be louder?
What are we talking about? L7?
The L7, the kicker L712.
Or what?
The JL. I'm guessing the W3s.
Oh, the shallow mounts? What are we talking about? Shallow,
No, just
big?
regular.
Well, the L7's going to kill it. I mean, the L7's going to destroy it. I mean, that's besides the point. It's a regular size woofer. It's going to just going to
No, but
need to build
I don't know
bench.
what JLs, but JLs make good.
Yeah, it's not a matter of who makes good.
Yeah.
They're both good. It's a matter of which one's going to beat the other one. The L7's going to just kick the crap out of it. It's a much bigger woofer. It's bigger, you know. Yeah, it's going to destroy it. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
W0?
Hold on.
I don't know.
Oh, W0's. Yeah, all right. Can I run a DSR1 with my Kenwood 706? Yeah. So when you're setting up the DSR1, you have 3 options for setting it up. What you do is you flash it first on the computer. You gotta flash it from iData, and you gotta flash it. So you gotta flash it on iData to set it up for what it is. When you're doing that, you're gonna set it up as standalone. Okay, and then you're gonna flash it for the latest firmware on a Rockford app. Once that's done, you're going to plug it into the car, and then you go through the car setup. And the car setup is what's going to tell it high level or low level. You're going to select low level. You're going to select your inputs. So it's got 4 inputs.
Hey, Carlos.
So you can pick, let's say, front and sub if you want, or you can pick front and rear if you want, and then use the bass knob from the DSR1. You can add in the DSR1 bass knob, or you can use your phone, or you can use your Apple Watch if you have one of those. Upstate New York. But that's it. So yeah, it's just a regular DSP at that point. You can do anything you want.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm excited. Monday is almost over. But yeah, but then there's Tuesday, so it's not like it.
Have you ever seen this problem? AVH X391 BHS.
Okay, so that's another
radio won't let me select the language to continue.
Sounds like it's locked.
So yeah.
So on the Pioneer, there's the light green wire, and that light green wire has to be activated. Now, on those particular radios, you can ground it, which will give you video sometimes, but it's not going to unlock the features in the radio. It needs to be on, off, on every time the ignition turns on. So I would just check to make sure, and you can easily do that with a toggle switch or pulsing it to ground. Marty's at SEMA. What's up, Mr. Aussie Iron? You're at SEMA.
Marty?
I figured, yeah.
What's up from Peru?
San Diego in the house. Dodge Durango makes weird noise when you turn the starting ad. Turn the starting ad 4-channel and mono channel for sub. Change all installation. Still same problem. Put in LC8I and the resistors. With same problem. Have you ever had? Okay, so what year is it? Would be the first question I'd ask.
Yeah.
And if it is within the range of an Amp Pro or a AR, because remember now, if you have one of those vehicles, one of those Dodges, you can just plug in your Amp Pro or your AR with the DSR1 attached to it. It'll tell the radio that it is connected to a factory amplifier, and it will flip it around so it all works. If you're going to SEMA, make sure you visit booth 11004. You can say hi to Marty. You guys can introduce yourselves and meet the guy.
And buy
He's a really
some
cool dude.
Aussie irons.
All right, so that answers that question. Honestly, other than that, I don't know on the Dodge, but I would do that.
Okay, can I run the DSR1 with the Kenwood 706?
We already answered that.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a 2010 4Runner, no JBL with steering wheel controls. Do I use Maestro or Access? Toyota, I always use Maestro. Period. End of story. That's all I do there. No SEMA this year. Have to do work. I understand that. We do too. Are there any new larger screen radios coming out next year that you know of? Yes, there's, which we could probably mention now because they're going to be at SEMA. So the Elevate is going to, it's not going to be, okay, I don't even think they're going to call it the Elevate. He's got a weird name for it. They're coming out with a 10-inch. So Stinger will have a 10-inch, big 10-inch. And I'm hoping it's okay that we're mentioning this, but we've already seen it. But I'm pretty sure they're debuting it at SEMA. And if they're not, sorry. But yeah, it's this big 10-inch radio that they have coming out. They had 3 of them. We got to see one. So yeah, that's what's coming out. There's other companies that do have them, but we can't talk about those.
All right, I purchased a CarAV 12240.
Yeah.
For my 2019 F-150. Should I be good? I follow your video.
Should all be good to follow your video. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we used to use the CarAV all the time. Simple. Rock and roll, you're good.
Alright.
Yes, iPad Pro. What do you think of Peel and Seal? Never used it. Sounds intriguing. I'm thinking you're probably going to be using it for like sound treatment of some kind. I don't know, that's a good one. I've never tried it.
Alright, question. What damage can be done to the speaker if you play music via Bluetooth through phone in mono?
What issue?
Yeah, nothing.
It's just not going to sound good.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't have any left and right separation.
No, but it's just not going to damage the speaker.
No, it's not going to hurt anything. No. It's just not, other than your ears.
Right.
Using a factory amplifier for 2011 RX350, do you recommend any speakers besides JBL? If you're trying to keep that 2 ohm load, I mean, you want to look for something that's super, if you're going to have to switch to 4 ohm, you just want to check the efficiency. If you can find something that's super efficient, then you'll be fine. You'll still get volume. It'll still sound good.
Yeah.
We've used the JBL in those. We've also used some of the Hertz DCs. And I haven't tried this. We've tried the Energy, but those have been replaced by Centos, so those are really efficient too. So those might work as well. Have you worked at a Honda Ridgeline 2nd gen yet?
With the factory
EQ, no factory amp on mine. So typically the Ridgeline has, we just got done doing a pilot, which I think is the Gen 2.
Hey, Roberto.
And the radio has the amplifier for the subwoofer in it. So if it's got a subwoofer, that's what that is. That's actually coming out of the radio. That is a load resistor too. You need to put one on that in order for it to activate. As far as equalization goes, like I know on the pilot, it was pretty flat. It just rolled off, obviously, because of the factory subwoofer, so they actively crossed over the 4 corners, and because the sub picked it up. So you just use the load resistor for the subwoofer to trigger it out. You get something that has 6-channel input. In this case, or 4-channel input if you don't know how to sell the product appropriately, in which case you could use a DSR1 and set it to front and sub as input, and then just use the DSR1 to do the rear volume control instead of having balance and fader. But if you're somebody that has like kids or something like that, you need to be able to actively turn down the rear all the time, then you're going to want to find something with 6 inputs.
Bobby, no, if you install the fast ring without the roadkill and then you want to pull it out, sometimes it's just like it's gonna rip it off. So
yeah, you're not gonna be removing it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can take it out, but just planning to buy another set of fast rings.
Jeremy, yeah, definitely 5,000 randomly. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, the 5,000 is end of life, meaning that it's past the 3-year point. Okay, I know you might have gotten it. I don't know how long it's been active in your car, but a 5,000 has been replaced several generations old now. So you're going to start to, yes, I'm running tonight. You're going to start to see weird things happening with it for sure, just because any radio past that 3-year point is borrowed time. But it starts the minute you power it up. So, Marty Dean, didn't know you had a site for it. Got mine from you direct. Yes. And that would be AussieIrons.us.
AussieIron.us. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have thoughts regarding the Sony GS series speakers? I like them. Yeah. I think they sound good. We've done stuff with them in the past. What really appealed to me was the way that they build their crossovers onto their coaxial speakers. Like the coaxial 6x9 and 6.5 are bi-ampable because the crossover is mounted on there, which was really nice because in some of the GMs that we were using to replace them with, like in my car, the 6x9 in the rear is half subwoofer, half mid-range. I could pull it out and I could replace it with the GS speaker, and it would sound great because that 6x9 is beefy, is really beefy.
Yeah. 210 or 112 so for a Nissan Altima 2014. What would you suggest? I go for the 10s.
Okay.
Yeah.
210s or 112?
210s.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
She's checking on me because she wants to know if they should just go ahead and eat dinner without me, probably, and I'm gonna say yes. Plus, I ran. I did it. It was Sunday, and the weather was great, so half marathon. What's up, Justin? How's it going, buddy? Just checking
All right.
in.
Greg say, hey, do you know Mark Fukuda? Have you guys ever worked together? Do you know where he is at?
I have never met Mark Fukuda. I know what you're talking about. Ada and I discuss him quite frequently. All right, Bruce is in the house. What's up, Bruce from Frostbite.com? Thank you for the time and effort you put into unboxing the F-150. Grab it. Enclosure from the program. We will be in touch with you soon with more regards. So, if you guys didn't catch it today, we did an unboxing for the Frostbite box that we talked about on Saturday. This is the website, of course. You can go check them out. Frostbite is a box manufacturer. They build custom enclosures. And by that, everyone makes a prefab box. These are not prefab box. These are box made for your vehicle. This one just so happens to be made for an F-150 to go up underneath the seat with four L7 8-inch T's. One of the reasons why I wanted them to build this box specifically for us was because they build boxes for the square woofers. The square woofers are out now and a lot of people want them. However, when they go online and they try to find a box for them, no one is willing to do it. What's up, Ernie? So, they will make you your box. Not only that, we got it in red because, as you know, our logo is red and it looks cool. You can get this in any color you want, or you can just go for plain carpet to save some money if you want. Of course, I would suggest going for the cool color to match your car.
Yeah.
It looks really sharp. Now, when it comes to subwoofer enclosures, let's say, obviously, they make truck boxes, but they got their start building regular boxes. And they make anything but average-looking boxes.
They're kind of unique. Yeah.
You can see tons of pictures for their boxes at Frostbite Boxes on Instagram, where they have tons. Make sure you like the page. They have tons of cool boxes. I mean, tons of cool boxes. They're also a Kicker authorized dealer, so if you want to buy direct from them, you can.
Yep.
Makes things
definitely
nice. I know Mark Fukuda. Well, Ernie, you're special. You know everybody. You talk on the phone all day. All right, let's set that guy aside.
All right.
And we want to thank them for becoming part of the 5-Star family.
Yeah.
Or should I say, the Smash Mouse Productions. Smash Force. Why did I say mouth? Smash Force Productions. I'm not used to saying it yet.
It's not from Canada.
So we started a new company. It's called Smash Force Productions. It's actually because 5-Star Car Stereo, as you know, is not mine. It belongs to Paul. The logo's mine and all those cool graphics are mine, but the actual store is Paul's. This is mine. So we started a second company that is a production company to encompass all of this. So all the shows that we do, all the social networking we do, as well as the boring life of Dean and Haley. We all fall under the entertainment category, which is Smash Force Productions. There'll be shirts and fun stuff like that. So it's just something that's going to make things a little easier. What's up from Canada? Howdy. I bet you guys are freezing your tuchus off. Okay, hey guys, I have a pack, SWCP2 and a 2015 Sonata Hybrid. Sometimes the Crow works fine and others... Hold on.
And
others, times the Controls... Okay, again, any help would be great. Wow, that would be a question for Ernie for sure. So the nice thing about the CP2 is you don't actually have to do anything other than flip dip switches. So I would check your connection. That would be the only thing that could possibly go wrong with that, is that the connections are bad or loose or not making good. I take it y'all aren't going to SEMA. We are not going to SEMA.
No.
And tech support this week I'm sure will be fun because Smash Fingers production. Ow! It was a name Haley came up with, by the way, so I had nothing to do with it. I said pick a cool name that we could name the production company. It'd be Cut Fingers Off Production. I mean, we're not going to call it Smash. You just cut them off. We don't do any of that. But I would give PAC a call and ask to speak to tech support. But the first thing I would check is make sure that your connections into the car are soldered, not twisted, and that they're really secure, because that'd be the only thing I could think of that would cause any problems. Have an F-150 with a Dayton DSP 408 running the Alpine PX V9s via speaker turn on, but the amp turns on and gets pop every time I open the door. Any way to fix that? No keyed remote wire I could find. First off, not a big fan of the DSP 408, alright? They didn't work all that great for us. I understand it's affordable. However, with that being said, what you probably want to do is take it off of that as the remote turn on and just go to a TR4. The TR4 is going to tap into the DC offset and allow the amplifier to turn on by itself. Because turn on and off by itself, not using anything from that particular 408. The other thing you can do is so there's two videos you can watch. The more expensive alternative would be to go with the TR12, right? TR12?
TR12.
TR12 Pro, which will do both. It'll actually allow you to tap into the DC offset and also create a delay. It's more expensive, but that'll adding a delay between the 408 and the amplifier will solve the issue. Someone said we could put a toggle switch on there, but who wants to do that? You want it to turn on and off of the car. So.
All right, for F-250 2011, keep the 6x8s or 5.5 components.
6x8s. Is that the question?
Yes.
6x8s?
Yeah.
Always go with the 6. The LED and the telltale sign of what's going on. What are you talking about, Arnie?
That's about the steering wheel control.
Yeah. On the steering wheel control, yes. Always make sure that the little red light is turning on every time you press the button.
Yeah.
So if it's not functioning, if the light's not turning on, that's a dead giveaway of what it's not receiving. If the light is turning on and it's still not working, then that's something plugged into the radio.
All right, with the NEX radio dual entertainment, will the sub play the radio or the movie?
No, it only plays source 1. Yeah, it only plays source 1, if it plays at all. I know in the Kenwoods it actually shuts off, as soon as you go to dual zone, it shuts off the subwoofer. But I believe in the Pioneer it only plays source 1, not source 2.
All right, what's the best channel
What's up, Eric?
amps? A
What's up,
4 or
James?
5?
Okay.
It depends.
Without a sub? Well, if it's without a sub, you're going to do 4 channel, because you don't want that 5th channel just chilling out doing nothing.
Right.
You definitely, if you have 5 channels, you use 5 channels. If you don't let that 400 or 500 watts just sit there and do nothing.
Right.
How do you set gains when you have a DSP in the middle? Okay,
In the middle?
it's just the flow of how things go. So we talked about this on Saturday. Go back and watch Saturday's show. We talked about it on that.
Yeah, you can have an idea.
We cover it for 20 minutes on Saturday's show. So definitely check that out. You can fast forward through it. It's towards the middle.
Are DEA speakers?
Our DEI speaker baffles any good. Okay,
Who makes
so
DEI speakers?
no, and yes. If you want to protect the speaker from getting wet, and you cut a hole in the bottom, big hole in the bottom, so that you're just basically making an umbrella on the top, then yes, they work great.
What's up, Mike?
But if you're trying to put them in the door as a baffle, then no, they suck because they breathe. Every time the speaker moves, they try to push out. Every time the speaker moves, they try to suck in. I've never had any success whatsoever trying to use those as a baffle that is like an enclosure. It just does weird things and more or less sucks all the mid bass out of it. What's up, Mike from Iowa?
Yeah. Well, that was good. They turned out pretty good. Bill, he used the PAG USB DMA.
3.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
What up?
All right, I need a drink.
I know, man.
I didn't grab a bottle of water.
All right. If you miss any question, you can type it again, because I can go back, man.
No, we can't. I know.
I'm trying.
I just felt like we just did the 20-minute run.
Ooh, that was like.
That was a sprint.
I already run this morning.
Oh, yeah. 20 yards, or 200 yards?
No,
Yeah, you killed it.
Yeah.
Hello, I have a 2017 Mazda 6. I already have a sum and amp installed. I want to add another amp, which will be the 4-channel amp for highs and lows. And I'm keeping the stock head unit. How would I go about installing that? Please help. So if you're doing it 2017, first off, you're going to want to get a T-harness. That makes things so much easier.
I think the Amp Pro is not for the Mazda?
Amp Pro is not for the Mazda. Remember, the Mazda uses the red plug. We just did... Oh, you didn't... Yeah, we just did one. Like, last week.
Oh, the white one. No. No. Yeah, the SUV. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, you want to get a T-harness. I can tell you right now, unfortunately... Metro doesn't make a plug-and-play T-harness. You got to buy both the 70 and the 71 harness. You probably got to buy 2 70 harnesses in order to make an adequate T-harness. However, CarAV, I think, makes a T-harness for that, so you don't have to cut it. So that would be CarAV, and then search for like Bluetooth harnesses. Next, you're going to want some form of a DSP. If it has just 4 channels of deck power output, then you could go with something as simple as a DSR1. You could go with something like a Helix DSP Mini. You could go with an Audio Control 608. But the best thing to do is to get in there and get some form of DSP. Now, if you're not into the whole tuning thing, at the minimum, I would recommend an LC7i. That'll give you all the fun and joy that you need to, you know, have it go off to 6 channels. But
all right.
There, yeah.
All right, my DSP is a DMA10, has output control. So do you set it first and then the amplifier?
Well, yeah, I mean the DMA10 has a 0. When you're in the software, you can get 0 to the 0 input for software in the software as far as the output goes, and then you can set the gains on the amplifier. So yeah, you could. At the end of the day, you want to put the DD1 or the oscilloscope at the amplifier and start with the 0 dB track, start turning up the radio, and then you can turn up the DSP, and then you can set your gain overlap at the amplifier. That would be last.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, now I have 2. I have 2 and a cutters.
What are we talking about?
Remember on my birthday he sent me the backpack?
Yes.
And the cigarette lighter removal?
Yeah.
He sent me one of those.
Oh, did he?
And the cutters.
Really?
So yeah.
Wow, you made out. Good job, man. I love my DMA10. DMA10 is really nice.
Oh, DMA10 is pretty cool.
I have one sitting over there. I had 2.
We had 2.
I don't know where the other one. Oh, the other one I'm waiting for a 608.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.
I love those power port removal tools when they work. When they don't work, it becomes a real nightmare.
Because sometimes it feels like you wanna break the whole thing.
No, this dash is not gonna make it.
So what I do is just go. Yeah.
Your view on mini amps: good, great, or don't waste some money. Mini amps. So if we're talking like, yeah, I love mini amps. Okay, so.
Well, depends what kind of mini
that's what I was gonna say. So, all right, so mini amps.
Yeah. We have that.
Like, this is classified as a mini amp. This is the ACM 4.300. They make 3 versions of this amplifier: a 2, a 1, and a 4, and they're all 3. This is phenomenal amplifier. You can do all kinds of neat things with them. This cover comes off. You can mount it to the back. They make a plate to turn this into a 5-channel or a 6-channel. You got this guy right here, which is a PBR 404.
They make the T-Series.
They make the T-Series, which is even bigger, and that'd be what I'd call professional micro amplifiers at that point. I mean, this is too, but what I mean by professional is they make a 1005, they make a 404, and they make a 402, and they make a 750.1 and a 500.1. That 750.1 and the 404 is like, whoa, it's the micro 5-channel amplifier of the gods. That thing has got so much power, it's crazy because...
Yeah.
Then you have the kicker key. Thank you. The kicker key, which is...
I mean, also Stinger make a 4-channel.
The kicker key is only like that big. It's 70 by 4.
Oh, you want the kicker key?
Oh yeah, that's right. I was looking over here because then we moved it. The kicker key is definitely like the micro of micros. I don't even know why we put it back in the bag. So this is the kicker key. Compare that to the ACM as far as size goes. So I mean, and this is 70 by 4. And what's cool about this is this has the DSP EQ built into it, auto setting. So, like, you put this in all right, so with this, you can do bi-amping capabilities. So if you want to run let's say you have a car that has a factory radio, or you just have a real basic radio, and you want to run full active front. You're going to put a mid-range or a mid-bass, or a tweeter and a mid-bass. You put this guy in, you pick bi-amp ability, you wire it all in, you hit the mics, you fade it to the front, you turn off the subwoofer, no sub, no front, and then voila, you have a perfectly EQ'd front stage with center image. You can fade in the back just enough, and also turn on the subwoofer, and you're golden. We call this the Haley system. We'll team this up, oddly enough, with the Rockford Fosgate P300 subwoofer.
Yep.
All day long, baby.
Yep. Yeah, and Emily is right. You know,
Power packs.
So solution.
All right.
Okay,
so,
real quick. Fred. See, like this system that we do the DSR1. We using the DSR1 bass knob.
Yeah, I go for the DSR1 bass
Definitely.
knob all day long.
Yep.
So Alpine has the new 50-watt power pack that they team up with the ILX W650, which goes right onto the back of it.
Yep.
That guy is silly how much power that thing has.
Yep.
And that thing sounds incredible. So, and then Alpine also has the WRA amplifiers, I believe, which are their they're actually the biggest micro amplifiers, which are their all-weather amplifiers. So those are made to go and get wet and stuff like that.
Adrian, that's a cool one. You know, the kicker key plus the...
Well, okay,
yeah.
So
Why not?
you don't have to do the kicker key plus the ACM one. You can do the kicker key, and they have their kicker makes a 500-watt by 1 amplifier, which is basically the same size. They also make a 200 by 1, which is like a quarter of this size. It's not that much power. But the 500 by 1, which is about the same size, that's a really cool combination.
So, like we say, micro amplifiers now looks like everybody has one.
Hey guys, I'll be working on stickers tonight for those that have asked for them. It's been a little crazy for me lately. She's just making excuses.
No, thank you, Susan.
But yeah, so if you guys have put stickers in, then type in the URL, please, Sue. She'll be getting those out.
It's
awesome.
5 stickers.
Do you think this business is decreasing, or is it still a good job to get into as an installer? You know, it's funny you should ask that. We were just talking about that last week because that topic often comes up.
What?
Whether this industry is shrinking or what it's doing. And is the internet has changed a lot.
That's what is making
the internet has changed a lot. That's because you didn't put on your gloves. The internet has changed a lot of businesses. That is a hard fact that is unavoidable. Things have changed greatly. The nice thing about car audio, and I was talking about this with Marty, as a shop, can we survive off installation alone? No, we cannot. We have to do retail. There's no question about it. We have to do retail. Retail is changing, though, as far as what we do business in. So, for example, we have this Mustang behind us here that's going to be here for 2 days. It's getting a huge system that is, he's spending a ton of money. And, you know, like we said earlier, it's Focal Flax three-way components at LC 61200 and LC 1.800, 2 P310s, a battery, he's getting a battery. All the panels have to be custom made to fit into this. Not all the panels, but the tweeters have to be custom mounted, the 2.5 inch has to be custom mounted. Stinger and Metra both make the 6.5 inch baffles, so we don't have to custom make those. He's getting roadkill, he's getting fast ring. So this is a typical installation that we're doing quite frequently. We have another one coming in on Thursday and Friday that's going to be the same basic install in a different car. So we do a lot of these. Now, keep in mind, Wednesday, what we're probably doing is like radio installs. We're probably doing radio installs on Saturday. However, those are getting fewer and fewer. We're not doing as many radio installs as we used to do. And the channel's reflecting that because like we used to do a ton of unboxing reviews of like Pioneer and Kenwood radios, mainly Pioneer. We don't do that much anymore because we don't sell that many of them. So, you know, we don't get hundreds and hundreds of questions like we used to about those particular things.
I mean, we sell them all over the counter.
Yeah, we know that that's not where the industry is going. It's going more towards this that has this cool factory radio. That's not to say that there aren't a lot of cool options now for adding back in radios. So, for example, now that we have the MFT1 kit, which I always just selects that up, we can go back to those older Fords that are like 2015, 2000, what year does that
2011 to 2019.
All the way back to 2011. So like 3 years ago, we couldn't do anything in these cars. Like, you had a Taurus, you have an Explorer, you had the bigger ones. There was nothing we could do. A Flex, you know, those little SUVs. There's nothing. Now this kit exists, so that is going to drive more business back towards those head units. But the short chassis ones are definitely the way to go. So you have the ILX W650, you have the Kenwood 7706, and then there's a JVC, and of course you have the skinny screens, the Pioneer things. What's Emily saying? There is still a desire for car audio. The great thing now is that actual techs get to fix the DIYers. Shh. Time of the year, next 6 months. Yeah, remote starts. You're definitely going to be tons
over
of
there.
Starts.
Yes.
We won't be though, so
no.
That's a nice thing there. But so the industry is changing, that is for sure, and it's just a matter of being able to keep up with what's changing. So depending on where you're at, you know, you're going to see different cars that are going to be able to do different things. That's all. So, you know, Amp Pro and AR and kits like that are helping to keep the industry fresh and going. You know, but like right now, if you have a car that's 3 or 4 years old, you don't have Android Auto, you don't have Apple CarPlay, you want to definitely upgrade to that. But the guys that already have, like, you know, we're seeing the brand new cars that I think this might have Apple CarPlay. So this has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's nothing in this radio for us to do. So that leaves us to DSP. And that's why we've spent so much time talking about DSP, because somebody has to move it forward. You know, when we were talking about the Dayton Audio 408, nothing against it. I don't like it. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. But there are cheap DSPs and there are high quality DSPs. A $269 DSP is a great DSP to have as an entry-level DSP that's going to get you in there. So if you were to make a correlation for that, it would be like buying an entry-level Pioneer or an entry-level radio is that entry-level DSP.
Yeah.
And then you have, you know, like Helix and Audison and Audio Control. And there's different levels of DSP. And the more you spend, the better they sound, which was true for the head unit industry. But now is definitely true in the DSP world. The more you spend, the better it sounds. Just having the 4 basic things built into the DSP doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sound amazing. We've seen that time and time again. I mean, don't get me wrong, the DSR-1 is a great DSP. It sounds wonderful. As soon as you take it out and you put a $1,000 DSP in there, guess what? It's like, ooh, wait a minute. It's like, you know, when you go, oh, I can see. So there's a definite thing happening here. Luckily for all of us, most factory systems still sound like crap. They are getting better though. So is it going to change again? Probably. But as long as you, the end user or the enthusiast, want a better sound than these cheap ass things right here, and I use that, like, I mean, really? Wow. Ooh.
What are you talking about, man?
This is so cool. It does. This is a brand new car. This is what it came with. Really?
Yeah.
That's crapola. I can't show you because he's already got all the new ones in. But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This is what you're always going to get from the factory, no matter what. You want to know why? Because it doesn't weigh anything. It's super light. It's got a neodymium magnet. Ooh. Now, here's where the fun part comes in. And this is funny because Chrysler stopped doing this because this is metal. This is plastic. This thing gets hot when you're driving the hell out of it. And guess what happens? This falls off. So you'll be driving one day and you'll get in your car and you'll shut your door and you'll be like, dude, my speaker stopped playing as soon as I shut my door. Why? Because this fell off. It's fun.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the nice thing. That's what keeps us employed. Love my PXE. Yes, good stuff.
All right. I have a 2015 Civic with a premium audio system, backup camera, lane watch.
Yep, head unit.
It is possible to retain everything if I change the radio.
No, not really. Nothing yet. Nothing that's going to go in and just plug and play and give you all that fun stuff back. The thing about the Honda you have to keep in mind is that Honda uses a DSP that's a digital signal processor, for the backup camera. So what happens is, if the image you're seeing on the screen is not the image that the camera is actually capturing. The camera that is actually capturing something that's like way big and wide. Anytime we do one of those cars, most of the time we have to replace the factory backup camera with an aftermarket camera that isn't so wide because it's like everything is like microscopic. So yeah, best bet is just keep the radio and go after the radio, which, you know, you can still get amazing sound out of the car. We do it all the time. But yeah, if you want one of those cool new features like CarPlay, or if it doesn't have it, then yeah. That's why I didn't get a new car. I just put my CarPlay head unit in. It feels like a new car. Exactly.
What is this? You'll see an issue with Apple CarPlay when customers the
13. No. So the question is, did we see any issues?
Any issues? No.
No. Don't get me wrong. I've heard some people that have had horror stories, but I feel like that happens anytime there's updates. Well, anytime there's an update to whether it be Apple or Google or whoever, there's always that certain percentage that it just didn't like it. It be the phone, it be whatever. And there'll be one guy, oh dude, it totally bricked my phone. We all have a friend that totally, or yourself, that totally had a phone bricked when you did the software update. It happens. I think it happened to me at one point. And you lost everything. You're just going, ugh. But hey, you had a backup. Everything is good. But no, we didn't see. Actually, on the upside, Android Auto, when they updated that, everything started to work better, which was like, oh. We actually got to see wireless Android Auto work for the first time, last week. It was amazing because it wasn't an Android, it wasn't a Google phone, it was a Samsung. And I was like, oh my God, this is actually working? Actually, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. It all seems like last week.
Yeah.
How do you add a backup camera to Ford Focus 2012? Well, the easiest thing to do would be replace that radio with the MFT1 kit and then just simply plug in a backup camera. The other way to do it is to buy an interface from either PAC or Metra. So pac-audio.com, metraonline.com, and they're going to have a interface that's going to talk with the car and provide with a backup input. So one of those two companies should have an interface for that. I can tell you right now, it's not cheap.
Are the entry-level full color RCX 165 any good? They will be connected to the Pioneer GM D104 or...
No, I like those. Yeah, those are the entry levels. I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know which one the RCX is. The only ones I don't like is the auditors. So, if they're not the auditors, you're golden. So, we have the perfect fit or whatever you want to call them. Those are phenomenal. Those are basically the same as the Access. Just different cone materials sometimes. But no, I really like them.
Yeah.
Can a Kenwood Exelon 906S be set, a DMX 906S be set to three-way active crossover? I thought that was in some of the new radios, but I don't know which ones.
Aaron?
Honestly, I don't know which of the new radios have those. I thought that was one of the features that was upgraded into the radio. Because I know mine has it, but I've never actually done the research to figure out where it's at. So, Aaron's in the house. What's up, Chris? How's it going, buddy? I hope your surgery went well. I just cleaned highs. I just want to clean highs and the brown noise. Okay, what is he talking about? DJ Magic. He's having a flashback. Are you on pain meds still? No. Throw in some Rushman. Just call me Chris. Hello from Rockville, Maryland. What's up, Ada? You leave tomorrow for SEMA.
Oh, he's
he's
tomorrow?
going. Yeah, that's why I haven't bothered to call him, because it's like, giving him his family time, and Sue's like, you haven't talked to Ada in a while. I was like, dude, well, he was in California, didn't bother to, anyways. So that's that.
Yeah. The Infinity Kappa 60.11.
First time
The
listener.
speakers are any good?
The Kappas? Yeah, Kappas are always been good.
They say they're good.
Well, Kappas have always been good. I mean, it's kind of like let's be honest. It's Harman International. They're like the largest car audio manufacturer on the face of the planet. They're also owned by Samsung, for those who didn't know that. And they're also the company that's responsible for the Chrysler takeover when that car was hacked. That was all the joys of Harman.
Elias is here too.
Oh wow, everyone from up in that part of the cold world is now gone. Any suggestions as to why reverse signal doesn't work on some of the pack harnesses? Simple enough, Chris. because that data is not there in the stream. So in order for reverse to function, it has to be something that responds over the data bus that they're tapped into. Not all vehicles have reverse on the data bus. So for example, like a Jeep Wrangler. Jeep Wrangler, it literally goes from the transmission to the reverse lights. It doesn't attach to any data bus whatsoever. So when you go to put it in reverse, and that's on a stick, by the way, not on an automatic. So when you go to put it in reverse, it's just, the transmission is turning on the lights, so it's not going to be there. Sometimes in GM, we just run into random issues where the accessory isn't, or the reverse isn't there. The other thing too to keep in mind is that PAC is going through a harness change. Sometimes it's pinned right, meaning light green is what it's supposed to be a brake and purple white is reverse. Other times it's not. So I always recommend when you put in a PAC harness to grab your digital multimeter and check to make sure that the what called nav wires, what they call them, which is your VSS, your reverse trigger, your illumination, and your parking brake, are all doing what they're supposed to if you plan on using them. Because nothing sucks worse than, as you know, when you're done, put it in reverse, nothing happens. So that's like as soon as I unbox it and we get the radio out of the dash, I plug it in and we check. Because, yeah, it's happening more and more frequently now.
Yeah.
Radio, DSP, or amp? A DSP amp?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll go with that one, yeah. Alex? I'm still upset Pioneer hasn't upgraded their screens. I'm waiting for replacement for the NEX 4201. You're not the only one. At this point, I would say jump ship and go over and get a 9906 from Kenwood. Because if you want an upgraded screen, that's the one to have it. I don't know what Pioneer's planning on doing. Do you think the 9906 is the best double din out at the moment? Because I'm a Kenwood Exelon dealer, and I'll preface this with we sell Kenwood Exelon, we sell Sony, we sell Alpine, and we sell Pioneer. Yes, it is. It's got the best screen. It definitely sounds the best. It's got the most features. It's got the best off-axis viewing. It's got audio-grade components all the way through it. Are there radios that have features that it doesn't have? Sure. But at the end of the day, if you want to see it in the dash, I love mine. I am totally thrilled. I have the 996, which is the navigation version of it. Just happened that way. But yeah, I would definitely, if you need a double din, that's the one to get. Now, I will say this. If you're a diehard Pioneer guy and you're going to switch to a Kenwood, it's going to be a learning curve. And it's going to be tough because they don't act the same. They're totally different. It's like going from Windows to Mac. Yeah, all the buttons are still there. You just got to find them.
You just got to find them.
And it can be hard. And people go, oh, I can't find stuff. It's like, it's all there. Calm down. Get off my lawn.
So, all right. I bought a PDX-B9 used. Does normally sound really soft on the rear channels. What can I check if it's not? Thanks.
Normally sound really soft on rear channels. No,
they should sound the same.
Here's what you may want to try. Because a PDX V9 is wonderful in that they all just plug in. Try and plug in the rears, and plug them into the front, plug the front into the rear, and see if you have the issue that way. Yeah. See if the front now sounds rear or the back sounds rear. That way you can figure out, is it coming from the amplifier or is it coming from your signal source? Because it might just be the input. I can tell you just got to be real careful with the gain section on there. You don't want to go crazy on that because it won't like you.
Does the Kenwood have HDMI?
Kenwood does not have HDMI. Kenwood has done away with HDMI altogether. Yeah. So, but they make the CA C3AV, and then then PAC under the iSimple brand makes the Media Links, which allows you to get HDMI into it. The reason why that's even a viable thing is because HDMI is not 1080 on any radio that exists right now. It's not 1080. Best you get 480 by 800, which sucks. So it doesn't matter whether you go through the aux jack or you have a radio that has an HDMI built into it. It's going to be the same quality. Right. Even though the Kenwood has the better screen, they're not taking advantage of it through their aux jack. Whatever.
All right. Is the Sony 5-channel Class D amplifier with DSP any good?
Fred, I don't know. I've talked to people about it. I've gotten mixed reviews. I haven't had a chance to play with it myself yet.
Maybe Ira?
That's who I got the mixed reviews from. Yeah. And a couple other guys. So
okay.
I don't know.
Never mind.
You know, when I'm looking at DSP amplifiers with full control, I would look at the Q Class 1005. Great value, tons of options, deep DSP, and also one of the features that only one other audio brand has now, and of course it took them 5 years to copy what Kicker did, the ability to add in a second amplifier into the system if you ever decide to expand. The problem with all DSP amplifiers, with the exception of JL, because they finally added this feature, is that you can have multiple, with the Kicker, you can have multiple DSP amplifiers attached into the same DSP, and you control them all from the same software. So that means if you have a 5-channel today, and you want to add a second 5-channel because you want to go full active, and you want more bass, you can, and control it all from the same software.
And the Kenwood doesn't include the remote?
Who uses remote? No. I know there's a couple of you out there, but I mean, most of those get thrown away.
I use the remote on my TV.
Oh, on your TV, yeah. Okay, that's because it's so far away. Hi guys, what is the biggest complaint? Oh, I heard complaint. Wow. I love complaints. Not really. What's your biggest complaint when it comes to car manufacturers and audio manufacturers? Well, okay, so car manufacturers, all pass filters pretty much suck. However, they're getting better to deal with. Load sensing definitely sucks. ANC or automatic noise cancellation or anything that falls in the category of fake noise being pumped into the audio system, all those guys, I wish they'd all die. And I don't mean that, but I just wish they would stop. You know, you bought a Raptor and it's got a V6 in it with a turbo. It's okay, man. It doesn't have to sound like it's, you know, got a V8. Just build a truck with a V8 and problem solved. Those are really the things I just, and a lot of those are getting better to where we can work around them. It's just getting to that point of working around them. The thing that really bothers me more is that the integration companies are slow on the uptake because they want to make one piece that works on, let's say, all the Fords. And so we have to wait. And it's like, because they don't want to just come up with a box for an F-150. They want to come out with a box that works on an S-150, and it works on a Taurus, and it works on a Flex, and it works... It's like, just give me the F-150 A to B piece. Call it a day.
Craig, check the 4500 from Pioneer. Or...
John Wagner, I'm a remote guy.
Yeah.
It's okay, man.
Or okay. The 9906. Definitely, they're excellent.
Oh, wait a minute, here we go. I want to see this one.
That one, yeah.
Upgraded my system upgraded my system to Hertz components with an Audison Forza 8 to 9-bit sound processor and my 2015 Silverado. That sounds great, but I made my Sundown. Okay, Sundown subs.
Not good.
Not really. Okay, that sound great. Not as good. Subs are popping at a low gain. Anything recommended? 2 10s, 1 cubic foot each, ported box. That's at least 500 watts RMS each. Ooh. Okay. So we need new subwoofers. Really? So we need a bigger... okay, so a couple shallow mount woofers that can do it. You have the Kicker Comp RTs, which is like 300 to 400. Well, yeah, but if you need a round hole. I'm thinking he just wants to put it in the same box. You have the... I would say the T's, the punch T's, however, they're really deep and they take more power than that. Scar has a shallow mount woofer. Unfortunately, it sticks out about much further. So it all depends. If they're down firing, that's the issue. If they're up firing, you'll probably be okay with either the Scars, the Kickers. I would try the Kicker Comp RTs.
Yeah, Adrian said...
one other, the MX from Phoenix Gold.
The MX.
The MX woofer from Phoenix Gold, shallow mount. That's also, if you're not a big Kicker fan, check those out. Okay.
Alright, Adrian said, best Bluetooth adapter available in your opinion. I want to listen to my title service.
So that's going to be... okay. They're coming in. They're actually sitting on John's desk right now. John's the Audison, the Orco rep, Kicker rep. You guys have met John, big guy. We have 2 of them sitting on his desk, but I probably won't see him until Thanksgiving is when he'll be back in town. We can actually review him. But Moscone makes the best Bluetooth add-on piece, period. We got to hear one in his Raptor that he just had done, streaming full high-res. Woo! Man, That's why I ordered 2 of them, because I was like, I need this. So it'd be Moscone. I have no idea how much they are. Didn't ask. Don't care. But it's the best, by far, Bluetooth dongle I have ever heard in my life. Don't even know the model number. Didn't care. Just give me 2.
Just give me 2.
There's one of those products you heard say, it does what? It's
take
really?
2.
I'll take 2. One for me, one for him. I don't care. So, yeah. Didn't catch the question on Sundown. Just came out with shallow subwoofers. He's having an issue with, I'm guessing he has some shallow sundowns, and they're not handling the power, so he's getting some popping noise. So, you know, other than just going in and checking the crossover would also be another option on that, is you could make sure that you have the crossover set properly. In a downfiring enclosure, if you play it up to like 100 hertz, that's really bad. 80 hertz is a good place. Sometimes going all the way down to 60 isn't the end of the world. Also, make sure there's a subsonic filter on. Somewhere between 15 and 25 would be a good place.
All right, James. DMX 706S with the RR in a 2008 CRV. It has TPMS.
Tire pressure monitoring system.
But it doesn't show the info on the radio. Did I miss any wire? No Navi on the CRV. So,
when you're on the iData page to check compatibility, the first thing it's going to tell you is if tire pressure monitoring system is available. Just because the RR can read that doesn't mean it's on the bus. It's kind of like when we were talking about the reverse trigger just a minute ago. It has to be on the bus. If it's not on the bus that they're reading, you're not going to get it. So in the listing of features, if it says tire pressure sensor and you're not getting it, then I would recommend calling iData and talking to their tech department.
They're very
I've
good.
said a million times. They're amazing. And they will tell you more information if it is to be gleaned. But that's the easiest thing to do there. I can tell you from experience, not all cars, just because they have tire pressure monitoring systems, report on the bus that the radio is talking to. Sometimes it's not in the OBD reader. It's just not there. It's going to a different port and they can't talk to it.
Right. DNF, do you ever have a DSR-1 have an extremely Bluetooth issue?
Yeah.
I also have one that resets once in a while.
Yeah. So the biggest problem with the DSR-1 Bluetooth issue is that it's probably not up to date. What you have to do in order, every time you get a DSR-1, I should do this video tomorrow since we're going to be doing the DSR-1. Walk everyone through step by step how to do a software update on a DSR-1. There's 3 software updates. I don't know. I'll have to check. There's 3 software updates you have to do on a DSR-1. 2 of them are done on iData. 1 of them is done through Rockford's DSR-1 software. When you plug in the DSR-1 to the iData software, you scroll all the way to the bottom. There's some kind of funky, it's not a firmware, it's actually like a core update. Do that first. That is going to update the Bluetooth in the module. 90% of the time, that fixes all Bluetooth issues. Secondly, you're going to tell it, is it a standalone or is it going to be AR compatible? So you go through that flash on there, and that flashes it as a standalone. The third is going to be done, you X out of that, and you're going to do the DSR-1 software update from Rockford. I think right now it's like 1.9.4. I haven't checked. I'll be checking tomorrow when we go to Flash. And then you do that update. Once all 3 of those updates are done, everything should work perfectly. That's important, especially that Rockford update, because if it's not at the most current firmware, dumb stuff happens all the time. You guys are still there? We go for an hour, Marty. We got like 2 minutes left, but thanks for keeping us good.
No, Jason actually kept it like, all right, Jason.
See, look at that. Yeah, I was looking. Actually, what I was looking for was that. All right, so that brings us to an hour, guys. Lots of fun. We'd like to thank. Grab me the sign, wherever that was. Oh, sorry. We'd like to thank Frostbite Boxes for becoming a kind of a sponsor of the show. They sent us a cool box. We'll be doing more with them. Can't wait. I really dig their boxes. Make sure you head over to their website, check them out. Follow them on Instagram. They got some really cool stuff. If you guys want something that looks neat, looks something other than a square, you definitely want to check them out.
And if you are in SEMA, you don't forget to check Aussie Irons
at AussieIron.us. That's Marty. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're over there on the other coast, up top, check out Stereo Kings. That's Fro. He keeps us in line with the time.
Everything.
DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can find cool tools that we use in our installation. Other than that, I haven't put that on there yet. And I still haven't put the 211 on there because I went to Disney this weekend and I suck. Anyways.
That's right.
Best iron ever, for sure. They make a big one and they make a small one.
Yeah.
It's so skinny. It's, ooh, yeah. Anyways. Fernando's happy because he has a cool 5-star logo on his. Mine turned out like crap. I used mine as the experiment, and I screwed it up. Whatever.
As soon as the mine is good, it's good.
Teespring/store size 5 stars where you can get cool shirts. We put up a new podcast, so if you're a Patreon member, make sure you go check out the podcast. If you're not a Patreon member, you can find the podcast at Podbeam, iTunes, and the Google Play Store. It's lots of fun. It took us a while, but we got back. Yes, definitely go grab a hoodie on Teespring.
Yep. It's getting cold, people.
That was everything, I think.
Yeah.
Is it getting cold?
The stickers.
It's not getting cold. Sue put the link to
Sue put a
stickers,
link
some
here
up
in
in
the
here if you
stickers,
want to find that. She's going to be shipping those out. I got nothing. It's going to be a fun week. Go back and check out our unboxing of these guys.
Frostbite.
Go back and Frostbite. We unboxed it today just to see the care that they put into their stuff. Really nice guys. So excited. You guys have a wonderful night as always. We'll see you back on YouTube Saturday, as well as we'll be on Instagram tomorrow with 5 Minutes of 5-Star. The most hated show in car audio. That's right. That's what we're going to call it from now on.
Oh, man. We are
30 degrees in Iowa. You move there, bro. It's not that here. It's like 80 something. All right.
All right, 30 seconds.
What? Yeah, bye.